Tyler Durden had a legendary reputation for non-stop horizontal refreshment, but the secret to his success wasn't his rock-hard abs or his bad boy charm. It was because he was a master at making people feel truly seen by destroying their sense of self. So, let's pull back the curtain. Here are the 4 moves Durden used to become a human magnet, capable of making anyone question their reality and crave his approval. First up is the simplest, most brutally effective move in his entire arsenal. It's called the human glitch. The function of this is to instantly shatter the boring, predictable social script everyone runs on autopilot. We walk through life expecting conversations to follow a certain path. The human glitch is a conversational hand grenade that blows that path to smithereens. It forces the other person out of their pre-programmed responses and into the raw, intense present moment with you. You become the only thing that matters, because you're the only thing that doesn't make sense. Here's how it plays out. A girl, Marla, walks up to him. She's got that cynical, too-cool-for-school armor on, ready to deliver some witty line she's used 100 times. She opens her mouth to start her routine, and what does he do? He leans in close, completely ignores her words, and just looks at her. Not in a creepy way, in a curious way. He says, "You're a tourist. You have that look. Everything is a copy of a copy." She's stunned. She was expecting him to play the game, to flirt back, to be impressed or intimidated. Instead, he just diagnosed her entire existence in a single sentence. All her carefully constructed defenses are gone. She's standing there completely naked, conversationally speaking, and the way she's looking at him now, with a mix of anger and awe, that's the moment. Her whole social operating system just crashed. The only reboot she's getting tonight requires some serious hardware. Once you've glitched their reality, you move to the next phase, the pedestal kick. This is where you dismantle their ego. See, most people, especially attractive people, are used to being put on a pedestal. They build their identity around their job, their status, their problems. This technique works by mercilessly kicking that pedestal out from under them. It shows them how flimsy and ridiculous their sense of self-importance actually is. And who is the one who showed them this profound truth? You. Picture this. A beautiful woman at some high society gathering. She's complaining to him about something she thinks is deeply important. Maybe her startup isn't getting the right venture capital, or her ex is showing up to the same parties. She's presenting her problem as the center of the universe. Durden lets her talk. He nods. Then, when she's finished, he doesn't offer a solution. He doesn't offer sympathy. He looks her dead in the eye and asks something completely out of left field. Has anyone ever told you that on a long enough timeline, the survival rate for everyone drops to 0? She stops, blinks. What does that have to do with her ex or her funding? Nothing. And everything. In that 1 second, he's made her entire world of problems seem microscopic, pathetic even. He hasn't insulted her, but he has completely invalidated the reality she lives in. She came to him worried about her legacy being forgotten. By the end of the night, he's showing her how to make a mark that'll wash right off in the morning. Next comes the move that forges a permanent link. This is the most dangerous and the most powerful, the lie kiss. The psychological principle here is the trauma bond. You create a moment of controlled, intense sensation, a safe danger, that indelibly links you to a profound experience. You become the source of their pain, but also the guide who gets them through it. It's a shortcut to a level of intimacy that can take years to build. Get this, he's with her. The energy is there, but it's still on the surface. He tells her to give him her hand. She does. He says, "This will be a chemical burn. It will be the most painful experience of your life." He's not kidding. He pours the lie. The searing pain hits. Her first instinct is to pull away, to scream, to run. But he holds her there. His grip is iron. He's not looking at her with malice. He's looking at her with focus, guiding her. "Don't fight it," he says, his voice calm in the storm of her agony. "This is your pain. This is your burning hand. It's right here." He's forcing her to confront the absolute limit of her endurance, and he is the anchor in that hurricane. He's the one who put her in hell, and he's the only one who can lead her out. He's no longer just some guy. He's the architect of her most vivid memory. He just branded his initial onto her soul. And later tonight, he'll be branding the headboard. Now you can do all that, and it will work. But there's a layer to this that is so subtle and so devastating, it can make someone question their own identity. This is the beautiful and unique snowflake. It's a two-part psychological attack. First, you ironically validate their deepest desire, the desire to be special. Then, you ruthlessly expose that desire as a generic, mass-produced product of the very culture they think they're rebelling against. This creates a profound identity crisis and a desperate need for your approval, because you're the only one who sees the real truth. Imagine he's with a girl who prides herself on being different. Her clothes are edgy. Her opinions are contrarian. She is, in her mind, a rebel. Durden plays along. He listens. He'll say, "Wow, you really don't care what anyone thinks, do you? You're one of a kind." He pumps her up. She feels seen, validated, and right when she's basking in that glow, he drops the hammer. He looks at her unique leather jacket, her rebellious haircut, and says, "And you bought it. You bought into the anti-culture. You are a beautiful and unique snowflake, just like everyone else. Checkmate." He just exposed her entire identity as a cheap knockoff. He told her she's nothing special, but the way he's looking at her makes her feel like the only thing in the room. He tore down her identity, and now she's desperate for him to give her a new one. Tonight's lesson plan, basic biology. So you can glitch their reality, kick them off their pedestal, burn your way into their memory, and deconstruct their identity. You can do all of that, and it will give you incredible power. But it's all just setting the stage, because Tyler Durden wasn't just seducing people, he was converting them. The one thing that makes all of this lethal, the thing that turns a one-night fascination into a lifelong obsession, is the final piece of the puzzle. It's the philosophy that fuels the entire machine. It's called the great enemy. The masterstroke of Durden's method is that he never made the seduction about himself. He wasn't trying to get in her pants. He was recruiting her for a war. The seduction isn't a game between two people. It's an alliance against a massive, impersonal enemy, modern culture itself. Consumerism, 9-to-5 jobs, the IKEA nesting instinct, the desperate chase for things we don't need. So he's with her. They're looking out over the city at night, all the glowing office buildings, the endless traffic. He doesn't say, "You and me, we have a connection." He looks at the skyline and says, "We've all been raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars, but we won't, and we're slowly learning that fact, and we're very, very pissed off." Look at what he just did. He created an us. An us defined not by mutual attraction, but by a shared enemy. He's not asking her to fall for him. He's asking her to wake up, to fight back. Submission to him doesn't feel like a weakness. It feels like an act of strength, an act of rebellion. He isn't asking her to join his bed. He's asking her to join his war. And when you're a soldier in a holy war, the first thing you do is get intimately acquainted with your foxhole buddy.